Sports Talk 790.
Probably the man joining us now would certainly love a plate of J-Bar M barbecue right now. Joe Espada with us from Detroit. Skip, how are things?
I'm doing well, guys. Here in Detroit, raining right now. Hopefully clears up for game talk.
Hey, my partner here, Ross, is going to do the post-game call-in show. Let's pray for a 3-hour rain delay. What do you say?
Oh, come on, man.
No. No. We need this game to start on time. It looks like it's going to be clear for game time, but right now, it's pretty wet outside.
All right. Well, thank you for the weather update. Update on your squad. Look, you can move the lineup around. You could move guys in and out. You've tried. You've a combination of things. Do you want to chalk this up to dog days of summer? Is this a team-wide funk? Where are you right now as you've seen your team, unfortunately, not be competitive the last couple of days?
This is baseball, man. It's August. It's late. Grinding through things. The guys are grinding. They're preparing themselves very well now. When the game starts, it's taking us. We having difficulty executing our game plan, which is part of the game. This is what happens in a long season. Now, our job is to walk in every day with a winning attitude. We're going to do whatever it takes to put ourselves in the best position to win today and not talk about yesterday. Today's a new day, and we got Hunter on the mound. We're going to prepare ourselves to put a fight against Kubel.
I want to ask this. I know that Jeremy was kind of feeling it this weekend. I know that you had to leave Christian Javier off the mound early in the game on Sunday. Is there any sort of sickness going through the team right now, or just a couple of remote guys?
Just a couple of remote guys. I think there's been like a bug around, and some of these guys, they're under the weather a little bit, but that's part of when you are, at home with your family and your kids, and that's how I consider our clubhouse. It's a family, and we're around each other all the time. So some of this stuff is going to spread around, but right now, the guys are feeling better, and those guys that had the little, were not feeling well, they're starting to feel better.
No one's going to ever question it. They do. They're ridiculous about the game plan, the approach going in. But when the game gets going, are there things like maybe taking a pitch, not taking a pitch, trying to go the other way, not go the other way? Are there little intricacies that maybe you're not seeing right now from this team that maybe you saw earlier in the year? Or am I just trying to get really micro on this, trying to figure out why the team is struggling offensively these days?
You know what? At the end of the day, you have a game plan, and sometimes it comes down to the fundamentals of the game. Sometimes it comes down to fighting, grinding in a bat, doing whatever it takes. When you get 2 strikes, hit the ball the other way. It's making the starter, work. Let me take a few more pitches. Sometimes you got to do things that are uncomfortable to become comfortable. So we're trying to do those things. We do it. We've been doing it lately. The last couple of games, we have not. It has not worked out our way. And sometimes it's about fighting. Sometimes it's about who wants it more than the other team. That's the message that we always continue to preach our guys, that sometimes when things get tough, you got to be tougher. You have to fight. And, the fight's in there. It's just things haven't gone our way the last 2 or 3 games.
You mentioned maybe taking some more pitches as far as an approach, and we kind of talked about when Isaac Paredes went down that was a big piece of the lineup that was missing. But what does that mean, like in practice? You just talk to guys because you want guys to stay within themselves, but maybe be more patient. But also, if the guy's out there throwing strikes, you can't just sit there and take pitches.
Correct, but another thing is they're not always going to throw strikes. That's the part of the game that yes, the guy's throwing strikes, but once they're ahead in the count, they're just not going to continue to throw the ball in the box. So it's us recognizing where they go with their misses, what pitches do they want us to chase when they're ahead, and if we are overly aggressive, now we see pitches that we normally don't swing at, pitches that are on the edges that we usually take. We're chasing because we find ourselves on our heels. And so that's the balance when it comes to having an approach. We know we have the tendencies of the pitchers. We have faced these pitchers in the past. Now it's us staying within ourselves, not trying to do too much, trust the plan, and fight through our bat. And that's what leads you to good offensive games like we saw in that series against the Yankees, against the Red Sox in Miami, where we grinded and we got the starters out of the game in 4 or 5 innings. And we need to kind of go back to that. And we saw some of that yesterday with Flaherty, where he was high pitch counts to 3 or 4 innings, and we were right there, and then things just got out of our hands.
Astros manager Joe Espada was here on a Sports Talk 790. What did you see that you liked from Spencer Arrighetti yesterday, and what does he need to improve on?
You know what? I think every start he's gotten better. His stuff's gotten better. Yesterday, the first 2 innings, it was a ton of strikes, sweeper, fastball. Through some really good changes against some lefties. So you're starting to see the signs of the Spencer that we've seen in the past. Now is once you get into the middle of the game and you start building up the pitch count, the 60, 70 pitches, keeping the quality of pitches going, limiting the walks, the falling behind hitters. That's when hitters kind of capitalize the same way we do against our opponents. When we start seeing the pitch count go up, our bats get better. He's just got to be able to, finish some of those hitters up.
Joe, I've tried to avoid getting into a deep injury conversation with you because it's been a broken record, unfortunately. And I want to talk about one player that we've not talked about a lot who's going to be playing today for the Corpus Christi Hooks, and that's Yordan Alvarez.
Yep.
Can you definitively, and maybe there's not a definitive answer to it, what do you want to see? What is the game plan from an organizational standpoint to say, okay, all this time away, the rehab, going down to West Palm, it's all paid off. He's coming up here. He's going to play for you. You're going to put him in the heart of your lineup, and hopefully he stays healthy the rest of the season.
Yeah, you know what? For me, to be honest, I really not looking at the outcome of the game, like performance-wise. I'm not looking for him to go there and get 3 or 4 hits today. I just want what comes after the game, how he feels post-game and how he feels tomorrow morning. If he feels good and he's able to play tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm feeling great. So for me, I'm not really looking at how many at-bats, the quality of at-bats. Yordan is a great hitter. All I want to hear is that Joey felt good. I'm ready to go tomorrow. And then we could continue to move forward and build him up to get him back at some point.
Do you want him in the outfield at all during this time down there, or does that come when he comes to see you?
We one day at a time. Right now, he's going to DH, and we are focusing on just trying to get as many at-bats we can. If we put him in the outfield, which we probably would during this rehab, the problem with that will be if he hasn't played on the field for a few months, so if he's 6 innings and he needs to come out of the game because of the length of the game, he could miss out on a few at-bats. And I want him just to try to get as many at-bats as possible. And the best way to do that is you DH and you lead him off and just let him control the volume of swings and the volume of the game as he goes in that DH spot. If he feels good and we could get him in the outfield, let's go for it. But right now, DH, let's try to get as many at-bats as possible. Want to make sure that he feels good post-game and tomorrow morning.
Couple more minutes here with Joe Espada from Detroit Astros and Tigers here tonight on Sports Talk 790. You lost Josh Hader for the regular season. You've got Brian Abreu now as your closer. To me, the indirect effect of that is I think Brian Abreu's got closer stuff. He could probably close for 90% of the teams around baseball. You're now going to be asking some guys that were your 5th, 6th inning mid-leverage guys to be in some higher spots, and I think right now you're kind of thirsty to find that guy that wants to take that 7th inning from anybody in this Astros bullpen.
And we've had guys that have shown capabilities of doing that. But you're right, they're going to be exposed to more of those big moments the next 6 weeks. And I know that they're capable of doing that. They have shown the toughness and the ability to do it. But it's different now when we get to August, September, right? The stage becomes much larger, and now it's us helping them manage that volume, those big innings, those big moments, because we know that they have the toughness to do it. It's just making sure that they know how to do it day in, day out.
Did Chas McCormick making his bid? Is he telling you he wants to close the games out?
You know, I tip my hat to Chas because he understands the situation that we've been the last 2 days.
For sure.
And as a professional, man, he's like, Joe, I understand, I get it. I go out there and do it. You know, he's not a pitcher, and we all know that, but he's a team player. That's a class act, what he's doing, and I have a lot of respect for him for doing what he's done the last few days.
And hopefully we never have to see him anymore this season on the mound, to be honest with you, Skip.
That will be great.
Thanks, Joe, for the time as always.
All right, guys.
You'll
Take
see
care.
Joe Espada with us from Detroit, Astros and Tigers. Yeah, he's been great. I don't want to see him anymore. I'm done.
I'd like to see him get a save.
No,
I'm ready.
no. What is the matter with you?
What you mean?
No.
Chaz is getting out. It's chopping up innings, baby.
I am done with the Chaz chomp on the mound.
At least it's something. At least if you're going to lose 10-0, we get entertained with Chas McCormick on the mound. He's out there spinning at 80+, baby.
I'm good.
Okay. Fine.
Good. I'm good. 713-212-5790. 713-212-5790.